Alright guys, welcome back to Motion RC Live. We got the P-38 here. Quick, let me just finish this flight. Blow by Alex. There we go. We're gonna go half flap gear. Let's land it and get on with today's announcement, because it is rather exciting. But we had a chance to fly, and I thought that P-38 that's been in the background of all my live shows, I wanted to fly it today. For many reasons, but we're at a new field here, North Georgia Model Aviators. Learn in the field, bring it down, all grass. And let's park the P-38 next to FlightLine's new best friend. There it is, guys. The FlightLine OV-10A Bronco is here. So watch this, and we'll see you back in the studio.
This is the OV-10A Bronco, North American Aviation Columbus Division small, versatile prop jet. The first aircraft specifically designed for close-in battlefield support operations.
So there you have it, pilots. The FlightLine OV-10A Bronco is coming very soon. Alpha, James, and the rest of our crew, we're doing our best to answer all these questions in the live chat. But guys, we knew the live chat was going to be a little crazy, so we're imploring you to go to the Hobby Squawk thread, which is open now if you want to ask any questions, or do it at the end of this video. What we're going to do now is play the assembly video that we filmed when we first unboxed this, so you can see all the bits and pieces of this OV-10A Bronco, how it goes together, and hopefully this can answer a lot of your questions. So let's get on with the assembly video. Pilots, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James, and we are here for an unboxing and assembly of the brand new FlightLine 1400mm OV-10A Bronco. Finally, FlightLine, it's been a while since our last release. They did the two Mini Dora and Mustang, but the last big one was the Corsair. But finally, we're back with their third twin-engine aircraft, and it is this stunning OV-10 Bronco in front of me. So the OV-10 Bronco, as you guys may know, still in service to this day in great numbers. Developed back in the 60s as a twin turboprop light attack and observation aircraft. can carry up to 3,200 pounds of munitions, and we definitely have some ordnance on there coming out of the box. But I always looked at the Bronco as like the prop version of the A-10 Warthog, if you have to put it there. She can just do all the dirty work, and this version of her looks absolutely stunning up close. The fit and finish on her is fantastic, and I can't wait to get into this unboxing and build. So for those of us who are joining us for our unboxing and assembly videos, the way we structure it is in 4 parts. We will do an unboxing where you'll see every piece come out. We will talk about the spec, so we'll go through what's inside as far as electronics and things like that. Then we will do a step-by-step assembly, and you're definitely going to want to watch that with me as you build yours, because there are some things in the manual that I just do a little differently to help you out. They don't mention certain things that I realize after building it, oh, I should have did this first, so we'll do that. And then at the end, I'll plug her in on the table here. We'll walk around her and just talk a little more about her. So guys, that's it for my opening spiel. Let's get started with the unboxing. Alright guys, let's get started with the unboxing. As you can see here, the FlightLine box looking good. It's the darker version of the Freewing boxes. Everything packaged nice and perfectly. Shouldn't have any problems with any of your foam bits inside. Pulling it out, you'll get your manual first. Then the first thing I pulled out of the box I saw were the 2 sponsons. That's where your ordnance is going to attach to, and those get glued on the main fuselage a little later. Then you have your 2 wings, and one thing I love about this Bronco, those wings, once assembled, they come off outside of the motor, so you'll only ever have to remove these wing portions, and they have a ribbon cable on it. They have 2 servo covers. You're going to have your outboard flaps on this portion of the wing, and your aileron, as well as your light. So you'll have the nav lights. That's what that ribbon cable will connect into the blue box in the middle. And again, they look nicely and detailed, and the decals are already pre-applied. Next thing I pulled out was the external fuel tank, so that'll go on at the very bottom, and that just is held on with magnets. Then you have your center wing section. This is where all the action happens. When we get to the assembly portion of this build, of this unboxing video, you'll see that we have to plug all this into the blue box. We'll take you through that, but you can see, again, nicely detailed. This section does have a lot of plastic bits on it, which is nice, but also you have your inboard flaps, and you can see the servo covers there. Really nice fit and finish on this. Moving on, you get your 2 baggies will be in here. So baggie 1's going to have all your peripherals, all your antennas, pitot tubes, things like that. All the stuff you'll glue on at the very end. Then your next baggie will have all your other bits. So your control rods, linkages, glue is in there, and all those things to help you finish putting this model together. Then you got your spinners and your props. Then we're going to take out a horizontal stabilizer, and there'll be 2 leads coming out of it, one for the LED up top and one for the servo, which controls the elevator, as you can see. Again, nicely finished. Then you have your 4 rocket pods, or LAU-59s, I believe they are, launch adapter units, and they look great. They will attach to the sponsons via the MWS railing system, like most Freewing and FlightLine stuff you know. So really nicely done. Love that they included those. Then you get to the big meat. You got your 2 booms. Each one's going to have a rudder servo attached with servo covers on there. Again, the detail on the graphics are already done, the decals. And you can see your motors are going to be included in there, and everything you're going to need to finish this off. Nice plastic bits. The main landing gears are attached to them. Really, really well done. And the last part is your main fuselage portion. So that'll be your nice middle section. Has the nose gear attached. Again, the canopy already on. Really a lot of space when you open the canopy. You can see inside there. This baby looks awesome once finished. But that'll do it, guys, for the unboxing. Here it is all laid out on the table. I can't wait to build it, but first, let's go through the specs. Now for the specifications on the FlightLine OV-10A Bronco. She has a 1400mm wingspan, or just a tad over 55 inches, and as you'll see, compared side by side to the P-38, which was a 1600mm wingspan, she's a lot bigger, larger presence because she's longer. She's 1390mm long, which is just a tad under 55 inches. As for the electronics inside, she will have two brushless Outrunner motors. They are 3530 860 kV. They are powered by two 30-amp ESCs with a 5-amp UBEC, and they are swinging 9507 3-bladed props, one standard, one reversed. They do counter rotate, which is always nice. You have 10 servos throughout, all digital servos, 9 9-gram and 1 17-gram. The material is EPO with a lot of plastic parts, guys. They did a really fine job with the detailing on this Bronco. Everything from the ordnance to the cockpit detail to the servo covers and all the peripherals. And the recommended batteries are two 4S 3300s to 4000s. I think she'll take even up to 5000s. There's a lot of canopy space in there, guys, and you're going to want a 6-channel receiver. So that'll do it for the specs. Let's head on to a step-by-step assembly. Alright guys, step 1, as far as the manual goes, tells you to install the main middle section of the wing into the middle portion of your fuselage. Now, the manual does not tell you here that you should plug everything into the blue box yet. So this is where I was going to help you guys out. I ended up installing it and screwing it down. Then I ended up going right to step 2, which was installing the two booms to the middle section of the wing. Once I got to that portion, I realized, oh, I'm not going to be able to have access to that blue box easily through the fuselage. My hand is just a little too large to get in there, and it's a whole lot easier to do that first. So we're going to start this video out. The first thing you want to do before you screw in the main middle section to the fuselage is you're going to unscrew your battery tray, because the blue box is attached in the back of the battery tray. If you just take out these 4 screws, lift your battery tray up to the hole on the back of the middle section of the fuselage, it's going to be so much easier right now. The first thing you should do is get everything plugged in. You want to watch out for the polarization on things. You're going to plug in your LEDs in there. You're going to plug in your flaps. You're going to plug in your elevator servos. Everything that needs to go into the blue box is right there for you, and it should look like this when you're done. So now once you have it all plugged in, all you have to do, guys, is take 4 of those 3x12mm screws that you see here, and you're going to screw that down. 2 of them, 2 of the screws in the front, they're actually underneath part of the hatch. So you can see it gets covered, and that completes the canopy on top. So again, just 4 screws will attach the main wing to the middle fuselage, and now we can get on to installing the booms. So now the booms, guys, very easy here. You're just going to make all your servo connections. Everything is labeled properly. So once you make your servo connections and make sure everything is dropped into the hole there, you're just going to use 5 screws for each boom. So 10 total, and they will be the same types of screws you just used for the middle fuselage. So it'll be 5 3x12mm screws that you see here, and they all get screwed into these nicely molded plastic pieces, and everything is nice and snug once you're done with that. Moving on, step 3 is going to be the install of your horizontal stabilizer. The first thing you're going to do is make your connections, connect the LED, connect the elevator servo, make sure your polarity is correct. Then you're just going to snugly fit the horizontal stabilizer between the vertical stabs, and then 2 screws on each side will get it done. And again, nicely molded plastic where your screw inserts. Now the next step is going to be installing your propellers. I wouldn't do this yet until you have your aircraft bounded up. So what I would do, save the install of the propeller and spinner till the very end. You never want to power on your aircraft until you have everything centered and such. There's no reason you need to have the props on yet. So I would skip right ahead and get working on your control linkages. So get the plane bound up, make sure your throws are going in the right direction, make sure your servos are centered, and attach all the control linkages that you're going to need to attach. And this page of the manual will show you all the control linkages and where they should go. Your 2 longest ones there for your rudder, they're 158mm. Then you have 5 58mm linkages. 4 of them are going to be for your flaps, 2 inboard, 2 outboard, and 1 is going to be for your elevator. And then the 2 65mm length ones, they'll be for your ailerons. So get them all attached, and then you can move on to the next step. Now with this portion, you have a mostly built up center portion. This is going to be how your OV-10 can travel. From here on out, the only thing you'll probably ever have to take apart anymore are these outside wingtips. So this is where you're just going to use the other 4 remaining screws that you have. Those are 3x6mm. They look like standard wing screws for any other FlightLine or free wing bird. They look differently than the other screws that we just used. You will attach the ribbon cable. You'll use the carbon tubes. You see where that goes. It should be very simple. And once you have that on, slide it in and drive in all 4 screws, and your outer wing portions are now attached to your OV-10 Bronco. So now at this point, whether you want to do your prop first or your peripherals, we'll get started with the peripherals. So you have a lot of antennas, guys, that you're going to put around. You have the counterweights, which are going to go on the top and the bottom of your elevator surface. You have antennas under the booms. You have the machine guns. They can go into the sponsons. You have the antenna on top of the fuselage. You have 2 little antennas on top of the back portion of the vertical stabilizers. You have the exhausts on the outside of the motors on the booms that you got to glue on. You got to glue on the pylon for your external fuel tank under the bottom. You could glue in your sponsons, of course, too. And now anytime I glue foam on foam, remember to score the foam on both sides before you apply the glue. That's just going to create more surface area and make sure you get a nice tight fit. Then here, if you just want to see it, you can attach all your ordnance. So those rocket pods, again, slide on with the railing system. And then once you know your middle pylon for the fuel tank is glued in and tight, you could slap the fuel tank on. Those just held magnetically, look great. So once you have all the peripherals done, now here's where we can do our propellers. And again, remember, you have a reverse propeller and a standard propeller, and you want them to counter-rotate inwards. So just make sure you do that as you attach the propellers. You have the back plate for the spinner, then the propeller will go on over that, and everything fits snugly. Then you'll put on the nut that comes on top of it. Then you put your spinners over the top, and then you're going to screw in one of those 3x6mm screws that came in the bag with the spinners. It's the only screw that's different from all the others. And once you're done with that, guys, there you have it. A fully assembled OV-10 Bronco A, and she looks awesome. So now, let's go through the features and plug her in. So there you have it, guys. That's a fully built OV-10 Bronco. And again, just that one little tip. Make sure you plug all those parts in first. I realize that after the fact, you're never going to get your hand in there to see how the blue box is laid out. Do the blue box first, make those connections, then the rest goes together pretty simply. The only thing is, again, having the 2 booms, you may need to use some of the foam from the aircraft to balance things out as you place it on, especially if you're building it by yourself, or maybe you grab your wife and don't tell her you bought the new plane, but just ask her to help you assemble it for a friend. You may need a second person. I had to have Alex come over for just one of the parts to assemble it, but guys, either way, once you have all that wiring done, you're never going to have to go back in there again, hopefully. And it's all nice assembly, disassembly from just the outer wing portion. So she's going to be really nice to transport. But I wanted to show you guys one of our favorite twin engines from FlightLine is the P-38. Way before my time came out, but I just want to show her on the table next to another twin engine from FlightLine, because I know probably one of the first things you guys saw was 1400mm wingspan. Oh, that might be a little small. And really, wingspan is all relative to the size of and the type of aircraft you have. The OV-10, just by nature of the beast, if you're going for this scale. Again, these 2 aircrafts are different scales to each other. They are not scale, but I just wanted to show you the presence of one versus the other. So you can see clearly that she is not a small bird at all. Anyone who's seen the P-38, if I put the nose to the nose, look how much longer the tail is. I'm going to walk this forward a little bit. On the P-38, and this is the nose to the nose without the pitot tube. If I go by the pitot tube, then you're even farther back. But you can see she sits bigger. She is just very, very comparable and a very, very nice size. And you can see some of the upgrades, if you will, from one of the older models. One thing about the P-38, it had come with the plastic landing gear, although nice that it's white, looks good, but now you're getting what would be the upgraded gear on older FlightLine models, you're getting that on the OV-10 standard. So that's really nice. And let me just show you the gear. Look at how she sits on those mains. All trailing link suspension on the nose. Nice big tires, as I said, similar. They actually look like they might even be the same tires on both, which is fine. That's pretty standard. Guys might upgrade to Robarts and things like that. But overall, you could just get the idea that the OV-10, despite 1400 millimeter on wingspan, she is no slouch as far as size. So let me get the P-38 off the table and out of here, and then we'll just walk around the OV-10 and finish up this video. Alright guys, let's finish up this OV-10 Bronco. Let's walk around her. I think first things first, I'm going to open up the canopy. Haven't done that yet, so you can see all the space inside the OV-10 Bronco. And again, plenty of room for some larger packs. We're going to be flying it, or I've already flown it twice now, on 4000 Admiral 4S packs. And I was getting perfect CG with them positioned right up against the forward part of the tray, which is nice. You have easy access to your servo and your landing gear, nose gear right under there. And again, a majority of your rat's nest as far as wiring is going to be all pushed far to the back. So there's definitely length there. There's definitely height there where you can get another battery. Maybe 5,000s in there. I think she's going to have no problem holding a little extra weight. But I was getting about, I did two flights, the only time I was able to get her out. And I was landing at 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and I had 35% left on the battery. So, you know, she's not the type of aircraft that you're going to need to motor all around. She's one to be enjoyed. She looks stunning in the sky, as you can see in these slow-mos that I'm going to make Alex put over the top. But she looks awesome. As far as the canopy goes, you have nice 2 pilots in there, which is great. Beautiful detail. They put the stickers inside. They painted the inside a darker color, which is nice. Looks really good. I think there's some plastic and some wood, so hopefully, I think it's lined in plastic, so you won't get as much bubbling. I think the only bubbling we had got being out there were just on the seats, seemed to be made of foam, but nothing that, you know, isn't going to happen over time anyway. But again, you also get magnets, and you have the plywood plate so that the wood, you know, fits in there nice. You never have to worry about your canopy exiting on you. One of the things I want to show you guys, talk CG. So the CG is listed on the book, and you can measure if you want to, but you don't have to. Let me take the batteries out of there quick. Before I plug it in, I'll plug it back in a second, but I want to show you they did mold the CG marks underneath the wing. They are right on the inside portion of that main center wing. And again, I hit that CG spot very easily. Very easily to do with 2 thumbs. You're not going to have any problem there. She looks really good. She was made for those 4S 4000 packs. As far as, again, some of those peripheral bits we wanted to talk about, I could take off a wing, but you've already seen it on the video. Let me grab a screwdriver. I'm going to take off one side of the wing, and we can speed this up. There you go. So you remove the 2 screws, and your wing is going to come right out with a ribbon cable. I mean, couldn't be simpler. Easy to take with you. First time I ever took the wing off. But you see, looks nice, and it's going to be a lot thinner when you're going to put it in your car, your truck, or wherever you want to transport it. And even if you had to remove the horizontal, it's just another 4 screws. You could take that off if you didn't want, you know, if this was too high or going to hit something. You could even probably remove the booms if you have to for long transports, but for quick to the field, this should be able to easily get it done. So let me get this wing attached again, then I'm going to plug it in, and let's take a look at the lights, show you how the gear works. All right, wing's back on. I'm going to put the batteries back in, get her plugged in for you. So the way I've been doing it is I put the battery leads facing aft when I put this in my plane. I'm not going to tape it. I'm not going to Velcro it down for right now. Let's turn on our transmitter. Let's make our connections. 1, 2. Close the canopy, all nice and good. Now you can see right off the bat, your lights. So we have the nose light on, which looks awesome at night, and that'll turn on and off, I believe, with the landing gear. And that's what the blue box is for, helps you with that. You have your nav lights, green on the right, red on the left. You got your strobe on the top of the horizontal stab, and you got your red strobe underneath on the bottom. You can see that there. Should be right in front of the fuel tank. Got it? All right. So looking good. Let me drop the gear. Pick her up like so. Here we go. Nice. Now it does have the little blue box delay, as you come to expect, but look at that mean profile sitting there. I love that. I just love the shape of the OV-10. I loved it with the ProFly one that I've been flying around, the balsa, and now I'm excited to have it in foam, but I also love that, unlike the balsa version, you're getting those ordnance on there, and it just makes the Bronco look even meaner. And I've seen so many, obviously, there's been a lot of variations of the Bronco out there, so she's carried a lot of different stuff, but I've even seen ones with, I think they have outer pylons on some of them. Like, they really can stock them up, and they're being used like crazy even to this day, which makes the Bronco even cooler because it's both an old and, you know, still kind of a newer aircraft, which is fantastic. But the landing gear, again, looks good. All your peripherals, those guns, they're glued in and they're pushed into the foam. They had like a little spike on the end that you push in with some glue, and then your ordnance, they just come off nicely, and they can attach they're centered. You can attach them either way. They look the same. So they could just go on there. Not going to try to attach it. As far as your propellers, I'm going to spin her up just a little bit. There you go. And they counter rotate inwards, which is nice. Give you a nice balance on a model like this. And then one thing I will say, guys, make sure you calibrate your ESCs. Especially on any aircraft, you want to calibrate your ESC anyway, but especially on a twin blade, right out of the box, if one of them isn't timed the same way as the other, if you go to maiden, you may push yourself right over into the ground and then think, what did I do wrong? And that's the thing. If you're going to calibrate your ESCs, I'm going to show you how to do that right now, real quick. Take your aircraft, after you have it all bound up and everything's set, unplug, tight connection, there it is. XT60s, XT60 connectors on the ESC. Now, your transmitter's on, plane is unplugged. Take your transmitter. This will work with any transmitter. Throttle to the sky. Plug in. 1 and 2. Listen to the beeps. Bring it down. And now your ESCs are calibrated. Couldn't be any easier than that, and that'll make sure that they're timed correctly. So that's a very quick way to do it. You can do that once every 15 or so, 20 flights. Sometimes you should it's something you should get in the habit of. Maybe even as a pre-flight check. It takes no effort to do it, and it could save you from something bad happening. So guys, I think that's about it. We tried to show you everything I could possibly show you in this unboxing and assembly, guys. If you're watching this video now, I'm not sure if we have a pre-order up or if this was an announcement or if it's available already today. So just stay tuned. I'll have the links in the description of this video on where to go. And if you follow us on social media, we'll obviously, our emailer will let you know when and where you can get them. But that'll do it, guys, for the unboxing and assembly. If you have any questions, head over to Hobby Squawk. We have a thread going for the OV-10 Bronco there, or leave a question on the comment section of this video. I'll happily try to answer anything else I can that I may have missed in this video, but I think we pretty much covered it all. She looks gorgeous. It's awesome to have a North American Rockwell OV-10 in foam. I believe might be the first time ever in foam, but if it's not, it's definitely the best time ever in foam because FlightLine did it, and we're so happy to finally see it. So guys, that'll do it for me. Alex, thank you so much for filming. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and remember to stay tuned to our live shows every Friday at 12 o'clock on YouTube. That'll do it for us. See you later. So there you have it, guys. That's the assembly video of the OV-10A Bronco. Hope you could see how nicely it goes together, how it comes out of the box, things like that. And again, this video will be made available. All of these videos you're seeing are going to be made available as standalone videos as well. So we'll have those live for you as soon as possible. But now we want to get to a flight video. James and Alex had a chance to get out to the field before a lot of the fields closed around here and got a chance to do a few flights on it, but you'll get to see one right now, so let's get started with the flight video. Hello pilots, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James, and today we are here with a flight on the brand new FlightLine OV-10A Bronco. Yes, it's finally here. One of the most requested Broncos, or one of the most requested aircraft that Motion RC, FlightLine, Freewing get in the Hobby Squawk forums all the time. The OV-10 was one of them. Charlie OV-10 on Hobby Squawk calling you out because he's been asking for years, and it is finally here, guys. This is a foam electric twin engine Warbird. It runs on two 4S packs. I got two 4S 4000s inside, but let's take a quick tour around just what you're getting with this FlightLine OV-10. Now, as you'd expect from a FlightLine bird, the fit and finish is fantastic. Out of the box, all the decals are already applied. Minimal on the OV-10, especially on the top and such, but your nose art's gonna be there, everything like that. You do get LEDs all around. You got your navigation lights. You do have an LED in the nose, if you can see there. We got a strobe light on the bottom, and you've got one on the top of the elevator. You also get all of the ordnance, the 4 rocket pods on the bottom. Those come off like you would any other missile system, the NWS railing system, and the centerline tank. That is removable via magnet, so you can take that off with ease. And one of the best features about it will show you, it is a quick connect wing. So the wings come off at the motor pods, both sides, just 2 screws underneath. You can see the screws there. Just take the 2 screws and you can pull the wing right off, and is just connected in there by a ribbon cable. You get big, nice aluminum suspension struts, so perfect for grass ops, big tires. And we're here at a new field today that we're testing out. This is the North Georgia Model Aviators Club. And it is a grass field. They didn't actually cut it, but it's perfect Bronco type taking off and landing. So we're excited to do that. You got, again, 4 flaps. So you got the inboard and outboard flaps, ailerons, your elevator, all the little bits. Nice all around. You do have servo covers on everything too. So they did a good job of hiding those. Nylon hinges throughout. I mean, it's a really gorgeous bird. And then you also get a huge battery bay. So you're gonna be able to fit a lot of different types of packs in there. I've got 2 4000s pushed all the way forward. Let me just tilt it up for you. Tilt it there. So that's 2 4000s fitting side by side, nice and snug. And for my CG, which is great, which what they did with the AL37, and they did it with the T33, and they have it here. They do have CG marks underneath. So you should have no problem CGing your aircraft and making sure that you are good to go. And as I said, this model CGs perfectly with the 2 4000, the recommended packs, right up front. They have great cockpit detail inside, 2 pilots in there, all the gauges and such, looks very nice, and also a large space. This model would be perfect for FPV as well. So just checking out the landing gear one more time, guys. Squish down on it, look at those mains and the nose. You're gonna have no problem with the suspension struts, spring loaded, looking good. I'll flip the gear for you just so you can see. Now you do have the control board in there, the MFCB control board, so the gear would be on a little bit of a delay. So we'll flip the landing gear for you. Coming out, and then going back. Now there's a little delay because it does have the MFCB board that you'd be used to, but nice clean profile. She looks mean. I always think of the OV-10 as like the A-10 for props, because you could load her up in numerous different ways. So I'm sure a lot of guys who've been dying for an OV-10 are going to be doing a lot of cool 3D printed accessories and such. But overall, we are excited to have this back. Let me get my gear back down. So what we're gonna do here today is just take it for a flight, guys. I'm getting on 2 4,000s. You're getting anywhere from 7 to 8 minutes, probably more if you milk it more. But the plan here is to fly it around again and show you some different types of takeoffs and landings, short takeoffs, because she can do that really well, and overall just have a little bit of fun. So guys, let's go fly. All right, throttle cut is off. Let's taxi her out. So again, as I said, guys, we were at a new club here today, and you know, we're just getting the nicer weather, so they haven't manicured this field yet, but it's an all grass field. It's gorgeous out here, and the OV-10 does not mind the way the runway looks. So again, taking off here, I'm gonna go full flaps. So I'm going by the book on everything. I'm in mid-rate for everything on my takeoffs. That's how I've been flying it around. And guys, this is again about my 8th flight now, so I'm still learning her out, but I wanted to get out here and show you guys just how awesome the OV-10 is. So Alex, are you ready to roll?
Yes, sir.
Ready to roll. Taking off, right to left. Full flap, and she will take off in no time. Get rid of the flaps, gear coming up, and let's get into our down leg. So we'll start with some speed passes. Again, I have 2 Admiral 4,000 4S's in there, and they're pushed all the way to the front of the wall, and that gives me perfect CG. So, and again, you got the CG marks on the wings, so you really can't get it wrong. Here we go, pouring on the coals. She looks good. Gonna go vertical, and then we're gonna rudder it. Coming back at us. The OV-10's like the A-10 with props is what I call her. You bang on that rudder and she will turn pretty tight. So the best pilots are gonna be awesome with this. Let's take it up for a big barrel roll. There we go. Now I'm putting a little rudder on all my turns and getting used to it, because the big twin rudders, guys, you don't want too much as far as rates go. I got my rudders right now at 55% of the throws. If you go out with 100, you are definitely going to be feeling the effects of the rudder, and it's something that I'm going to be working on, you know, the more and more I take this baby out and fly her. But for right now, I've been having a lot of fun doing what we've been doing. I definitely want to get into some touch and goes, but you can see the stall characteristics of her. You know, OV-10 Bronco fans, you guys got your wish, and she is stunning too. Taking her up, let's stall her over, coming back in. How about a loop, Alex? Coming in, going up, and we got bit of a breeze here, on and off. You probably see the flag behind me, I'm not sure, but it either comes really stiff down the runway, or sometimes it crosses, and then sometimes it just dies. So it's one of those days, but when you get a chance to get out nowadays, take it. Coming through. All right, I'm gonna switch my pattern, Alex, and then we're gonna play with the flap. So let's go 50 flap this way, and I'm gonna turn right, and we're gonna touch and go, so gear coming out. And I'll do it with 50 flap because the wind is just there. If it was too much wind, you know, when there's no wind, I'll go full, but I'm really high. And again, I'm learning this field as well, so got to get used to new surroundings. Last thing I want to do is put her in a tree. We've all done that. Now I'm about 25% throttle, and she will, you know what, we'll go by slow here. She will sit. That's 50 flap into the wind. So
Right as the wind kicks up.
My down leg pass, and we'll try that again, going around for the touch and go. But she will get really slow. So pilots who love slow characteristics, and she, you know, her butt will almost sit kind of like the AL-37 will. It's funny, she could definitely, you might be able to nose wheeler the best pilots. So now we're back to 50 flap. I'm about 25% on the throttle. Just gotta play, because now the wind wants to go cross. Of course it does, right as you tell her. And let's touch, and then take it right back off. And you could have fun just doing this, and she will turn in a tight space. So next time I do it, I'll go right back up and just turn her out of there. You could fly it in a much tighter way, in a much tighter area. Like CCRC, my other field, be perfect for this too. But she is closed at the moment. Coming back in, another touch and go, sitter. Take it off and then watch. Turn her. That is rudder, rudder, rudder. Nice. And again, I'm dealing with the wind. And also that center line tank too. That's gonna play with you in the wind. I wanted to keep it on. Alpha said probably fly. If there's one thing you don't fly with all the time, maybe the center line tank, but I wanted her on there. I like her all rigged up with everything. Bringing her back in. Look at this. Oh, cross, cross. Fight it, and I'm gonna get out of dodge there. Woo! She is so much fun. I'm so excited that we went with the OV-10 as the next FlightLine bird, and I think a lot of guys are gonna love this one. So here we go again. Flaps now, 50 flaps still. I wanna keep some power just in case the cross decides to catch me again. Bring her in. Right in front of Alex. Take her back off, get out of the flap, and go. I'm gonna bring the gear up again, because I still have 2 minutes on my timer, guys. I've had my timer set to 7 minutes, and when I've been coming down about 6:30, because I'm being cautious with it, I'm still having 3.9 on my packs. 50% is when I'm getting readouts on my cell checker. So she will fly for a good long time, but I'm gonna be conservative just for being here. But look at that. Just absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'm flying with the 10-channel Admiral receiver with the satellite, no gyro. So probably should have put a gyro on her just because of the wind. Let's bang that rudder around. Look at that. That's a rudder turn, but she will turn on a dime. Bringing her out again. Rudder. Straighten out those ailerons. It's a lot of rudder. Look at her, and she'll just sit. Ooh! She is absolutely beautiful. So let me go to super high. Let me go to my high rate here. Let's see what a roll looks like on high. That's a high rate roll. So now I'm all high rates on my elevator and my ailerons. I was on mid for the entirety of what you saw before this. No, that's not what she wants to do. She's not aerobatic in that sense, but she's the type that close combat is what you want your OV-10 for. If you miss your target the first time, you could be back there in a couple seconds. And getting it again. So now my timer is coming down on 7 minutes. I'm hitting the 10-second mark, as you hear. So what I'm gonna do, Alex, you know what? I'll come across you here, and I'm gonna drop the gear so you can see the gear come out. And it has a little bit of a delay, so I'm gonna hit the switch now. And it should pop out. There they go. And now we're gonna bring her out. And then we're gonna do a right to left landing. I'm going 50 flat. Again, we're out there, and as you can see, now the wind has started to drop, but you never know when it's gonna pick back up, so I'm not gonna go full flap. I'll keep her 50. That's what a crosswind. And there we go. Your OV-10. Oh, I'm so excited about it. It looks beautiful. I got my cell checker, I hope, in my pocket. You won't believe it. No, I got it. I got it.
No way.
We got it on here. So let's get in there and check out the cells, guys.
Hold on 1 second, guys.
Flaps. And I got my throttle.
Put that bad boy down right there.
Got my throttle cut. And all in one shot, so you guys know we aren't lying to you.
There it is.
About the batteries. That was an honest flight from, unfortunately, an honest pilot. An honestly decent pilot, but, you know, not the best, but I'm excited to learn to fly this thing so much more. So we got both our 4000s. Let's check the first. And we are at 3.83, 46%, and that was 7 minutes of useful throttle time. So my timer only goes when I hit 25% throttle. So I'm sure the flight was even longer than that, and you'll see it on the corner of the screen. But the other one's going to be probably right there, unless the batteries, and that's 49, 3.846, if you can see.
We see it.
So more than enough flying time. And again, guys, look at the space inside. So I've got my satellite pressed up against the wall on the right side up front, and I tape your aerials off, and then my 10 channels back here, and more than enough space. So you should easily be able to carry 5000s in there, 4S, and if you wanted, you know, I know guys are probably going to wire things together. You could do a single cell pack. A bigger one like that would work too. I know people did that with the B-24 and such, but you're gonna have no problem fitting what you need to fit in the OV-10 Bronco. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that flight, and I hope you guys are excited to get your OV-10 Broncos. They are gonna be on the way very soon, and we're just excited to have it out here, excited to be alive and out in Georgia enjoying the beautiful weather. So guys, that'll do it for us. Alex, thank you for filming. Head over to Hobby Squawk now. We have a forum open. You can talk about the OV-10. I'm gonna have a ton of pictures posted in there, and obviously Alpha's gonna be in there talking about it. And like, share, and subscribe, guys. We'll see you next time at Motion RC. So there you have it, pilots. That was a product video, an assembly video, and a flight video on the new FlightLine OV-10A Bronco, which is coming very, very soon to motionrc.com and motionrc.eu. Now, we know the live chat's been crazy with questions. We've been doing our best to answer all of them, but we're gonna end this video here, and we want you guys to go to Hobby Squawk now. We have links in the description of the video. We've been sharing links in the live chat. Go to the Hobby Squawk thread for the OV-10A Bronco. Alpha, James, and crew are standing by to answer any more questions that you might have on this FlightLine OV-10A. But if not, we cannot wait till these hit the warehouse. We cannot wait until these get shipped out. We can't wait to see the customizations that people are going to do with their FlightLine OV-10A Broncos. And overall, we thank you so much for joining this announcement video. Like, share, and subscribe, guys, and we'll see you in the Hobby Squawk forums right now. Thanks so much.